Hello, I'm Leanne. I'm a lightworker and a mother to 3 special girls. I strive to continue learning, growing, and collect new skills. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki master teacher, and an Akashic Records reader and healer. Thank you for joining me on my journey through spirituality and life. Welcome to the Life of a Lightworker podcast. Hello. I have to be completely honest with you. The thought of saying all these words and have somebody listening to them terrifies me, which is exactly the reason why I'm doing this. I need to work through my fear. I need to learn how to use my voice and express myself. Everybody has something that they're working on, and I know from this life, my throat chakra and using my voice is something that's really important for me to work through. So I'm taking these big steps. In this first episode, I'm going to talk to you about protecting your energy and clearing your energy using visualizations. I'm going to be doing a lot of this from reading the notes that I've made as I try to work through using my throat chakra. So bear with me. If I make mistakes, we're not going to judge, right? Because we're all human. Nobody's perfect. So before I leave my house, or if I forget, which happens often, I do this before I am around people. So lots of times when I'm in the car, as I'm going to go into the grocery store, I stop and do this protection. The way I protect my energy, there's lots of different ways to protect your energy. Everyone has their own method, but this is what I have found works well for me at this moment. It may change in the future as I uncover more layers and my spiritual development expands, but for right now, this is what I've found works. So one thing, it's all trial and error. You have to try to find out what works for you. So just try everything you can and don't get discouraged. Just experiment, have fun. We're all learning new techniques. And remember, the things that you've learned that might not work for you, you have the chance to teach somebody else. Maybe you can help. Maybe it'll be really good for them. You never know. Learning is never wasted, even if it doesn't work for you. So I protect my energy by visualizing a mirrored ball around me. I imagine it kind of like tinfoil and wrap it around myself and make sure there's no gaps. I can see outside the ball. It's clear, but from the outside, it looks like a mirror. They can't see in, they can only see themselves. I set the intention before and during this wrapping that the thoughts of others cannot reach me, and my energy is kept safe. I envision within this ball that there's white and opal colored light charging and healing my energy. And then I go about my day. I do an extra layer, an extra step, when I do healings and readings on other people. So what I do is I ask my guardian angels and the archangels and my spirit guides, and I invite the rest of my spirit team. I ask them to protect me and to act like a filter and to shield me from any spirits, any energy, and any people on the other side of the appointment. People and spirits can accidentally send cords to you. It does not mean that they're doing anything bad or wrong. It just happens sometimes. So I try to cover my bases to prevent any future issues. When I feel like I need a little extra layer, like if it's going to be a bit of a tougher situation, or if I just get the feeling, I envision the angel's wings hugging me, surrounding me, and acting like a shield from all the outside energy. You can either ask your guardian angels or the archangels. I like to use both. At the end of this session, I disconnect from the person and their spirits and their spirit team. I imagine all of them are in a bubble, and I'm in another bubble, and we start moving away from each other, and I can see the cords connecting us. And then I ask the guardian angels and the archangel Michael to come and cut the cords with their swords. I then envision the swords moving all the way around me, cutting any cords that there might be. When they start to move, when it feels like they're going slower or stop, it means that they've come across a thick cord. If it completely stops, then I imagine big tree shears or a chainsaw. You can use whatever makes you feel good. Choose something that you like. It could be an axe. It could be anything. And that cuts the cord. If you don't notice anything, that's completely fine. You just go through the steps and just trust and believe that your angels have done this for you. So once all the cords are cut, ask the angels to push the cords away and transmute the cords into light and love and send them back to the soul that sent them to you. When you need a little extra, then you're going to need a little extra healing for yourself. So the next step is to pull the cord stumps out. I like to imagine a burst of energy within myself, expanding quickly and violently exploding outwards, pushing the stumps and any energy that is not mine out. I have the intention that all the leftover energy is dissolved and transmuted by the burst. I then envision white and opal light surrounding me, swirling around me, and sinking into me, healing all the openings created by the cords. I then put up my mirrored ball around myself again. I do this after every appointment, and then again at the end of the day before bed. I like to double check that I haven't accumulated anything that's not mine. Then sometimes all these steps can feel like a lot of things, but as you'll notice, as you'll experience, as you expand yourself, you become more sensitive to all these energies. And a lot of the time, all these energies and all these cords have already been attached to you, but you just haven't noticed them. You've become used to them. You haven't realized what it's like to feel lighter, to be higher vibration. You're used to being low because all the cords are sucking the energy out of you. So I think of this all as preventative measures, because sometimes when the cords get attached to you and they stay for a long time, you can't reach a high vibrational state. It's hard to laugh. It's hard to experience joy. It's hard to be excited. You feel so drained and tired and just low. The cords are literally sucking the energy away from you. And another thing, when I notice that I am thinking about the people that make me feel bad, when the thoughts are negative towards myself, I stop. I go ahead and cut the cords, just like I showed you, and then place the mirror ball around myself. I then place a thick mirror between myself and the person or people, and then I set the intention that when they think of me, the thoughts bounce back right to them. I tend to only have to do this with a couple people in my life. It's not something I typically do, and some people may never feel the need to do this. But if you feel like this is something you want to do, something you want to try, you have to include your spouse and your children. For myself, I imagine my husband and my kids are right beside me, right behind the mirror. I do this because if the negative people are thinking about a member of my family, it affects all of us. We are all connected. And also, we can only psychically protect the people that are your spouse and your children. Everyone else, you need permission. So we're not allowed to do it. Also, I've also noticed that when I do the protection, it doesn't work as well as when someone does the protection themselves. When comparing it to like my husband and my children, when the protection on my husband doesn't last as long as my kids. And I believe it's because maybe he's thinking about the people that I've set the protection against. When you think about someone or a soul, it gives them permission to enter your bubble. So it makes a hole, it makes a crack, and they can get through. So when you notice that you're thinking about someone, say stop. This is not allowed. No. or just no, whatever comes natural to you. This is not allowed. You change your thoughts and think about something else, and then put your mirror up. And the more you do this, the more it'll become second nature, and you won't have to try to remember to do this all the time. It becomes just like a muscle memory type thing. So I hope some of you can use some of these ideas, or maybe it's just a reminder for you to keep up with your spiritual hygiene, protecting and cleansing yourself. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.